All right, I may have bit off more than I can chew, but all right, I'm gonna be patient this time. I was able to get it off. I mean, it's such a great campsite here. Well, hey everyone, I'm out on my 4th trip of the year. If you've been with me all year, my goal is to make 12 trips this year. So it is April 17th and I'm out on number 4. So gorgeous day out. Took off for a couple days. Today is Thursday and yeah, look at this beautiful little creek right here. I'm actually doing something a little different this time. I'm dispersed camping. So my Jeep is through the woods right there, not very far. I'm off a forestry road. I got the tent, you're gonna be setting all the tent up and all that good stuff later on, but I'm way out in western North Carolina, Nantahala National Forest. Let's see, trip number 1 was in Pisgah. Trip number 2 was in Nantahala, but that was about 100 miles east of here. 3rd trip was Great Smoky Mountains. And now I'm back in Nantahala here. So hopefully you've seen all those other trips by now. But yeah, this is never been here. You know, I've always wanted to come out to this area, but it was over 5 hours to get here from the Chapel Hill area up in North Carolina. So I got to take a little time off. I'm not going to come up here for a one-nighter for a trip like this. So I'll be here for a couple of nights. And then since I'm out this far, on my last day, I'm gonna get up early and I'm gonna drive a little farther north, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, and scope out some other forestry roads and some other creeks and stuff. So, but we'll talk a little more about that throughout the trip of some of the other things I plan to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the tent set up, and then I'm gonna get on the water. I'm not gonna fish this now because this is right here, but I'm definitely gonna hit this later. I'm at about 3,500 feet, so I'm thinking this has got brookies in it. But I'm gonna walk down the forestry road and not too far to get to the creek and fish that creek this evening, and then yeah, see what happens. I mean, it's nice and warm. It's probably close to 70 now. It's approaching 3 o'clock. So, but anyway, we'll be touching back with everyone later in the day. Hey, if this is the first time you've joined the channel, stay with me through this trip and subscribe and go check out some of the other adventures I've been on. All right, we'll touch base later on. When I'm dispersed camping, I do a little bit different setup. Throw everything in a box, heavier tarp, a little bit bigger tent, real pillow. This is what I call glamping. This is my kind of glamping. Dispersed camping with your vehicle. Really good food. A little extra comfort. And drinks and everything. So we'll talk about that. Show that a little bit later. So. Only own 2 tents. This Cabela's 2+. It came in on my first 2 trips. I think it's 6 pounds. Yeah, that was crazy. But it's plenty durable enough. Quick and easy to set up. Did get a hole in the little plastic window one time. I wasn't paying attention when I was folding it up, and I curled a stick up in there, pretty stout, about 3 to 4 inches long, and it poked through there. But, I solved that very easily with some tenacious tape, and taking a many rainstorms at some dispersed camping sites, and it's never leaked on me. So yeah, this tent, I don't know, 10 years old maybe. I actually used to put a twin mattress in it. Actually, when I first started using it, I had a blow-up double mattress, because it's a 2+ tent, so that was really comfortable. But you know how those things go, they get holes in them. So I bought a twin blow-up. That didn't last very long, but when I got my camping mat, I mean, that's all I use. That thing is so comfortable. Same thing I backpack in, that's all I use. Yeah, you can comfortably sleep 2 people because it's a 2+. I mean, most people probably wouldn't do a Cabela's, but nowadays, but you know, this one's really made well. I've been very happy with it. Breathes well. Came with a rain fly, and oh wow, was it inexpensive. But it's just not made for backpacking in. But great for this. Absolutely great. All right, here we go. I think it's been over a year since I've used this tent. It's kind of dangerous. I didn't check it out, but I did bring my backpacking tent just in case I couldn't find any dispersed areas and I had to hike in the woods. So I did come prepared just in case there was nothing, you know, convenient along the forestry road where I had researched, you know, that was close to these creeks and rivers where I can do a lot of different things. But thank goodness. It was part of coming on a Thursday, but yeah, found this spot. We'll look at this site later, but it's really, really great. And you know what? I'm not putting the fly on. There is no chance of rain. I'm certainly going to put it close by to where if I need to get out real quick, it's got buckles on all 4 corners, and so, I mean, if for some reason there is some rain, yeah, I can throw it on real quick, and it'll certainly wake me up. So, it's not full mesh, a little mesh here and there, but I would love to see the outdoor in the middle of the night. Hopefully, the moon's still going to be out. So, anyway, let's get the stake down. Getting ready to hit the water. So got the camp all set up, and yeah, chilled for a bit. I actually laid back in my comfy chair. So let's take a look at this campsite here. So biggest annoying thing, Can't believe somebody left that there. But anyway, I think it'll burn up. If not, I'll pack it out of here. So, but anyway, gathered up some firewood already, and got a good bit of firewood. Just so easy, you know, dispersed area. Got the tent over here. You can see this puppy's quite a bit bigger than the other one. And then right off through there, you can probably hear it, is the creek. So good sleeping. So you can see a few luxuries I bring when I'm dispersed camping, and the Jeep is just a short walk away. My comfy lounge chair, sit-up chair, you know, can eat, table, some water, you know, lamp, you know, and I got some good food. We'll cook over the fire later. Got an old grate that I bring with me, and set it up and cook some good food over the campfire. So we'll do that later tonight. But we're gonna hit the water for a couple hours. I got a little bit of a walk, but hey, it's an absolutely gorgeous day. So yeah, absolutely amazing out here in the forest. It's Easter weekend coming up, so yeah, perfect weather out here, and yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy these next couple of days, exploring some new water, and hopefully land some wild fish. I'm optimistic I might be able to get the slam in this area. I really have no idea. I'm at high altitude, but you know, there still can be brown, rainbow, and brookie over here, so we're gonna see. We'll touch base hopefully when I bring in the next fish. All right, I may have bit off more than I can chew, but I'm not gonna turn around now. So I thought the river was a little bit closer to the forestry road. It's at the base of that mountain, but I've come across a bog. Look at that. So anyway, I'm glad I got my backcountry skins on, so I can go through this, but I'm not gonna turn around now. Might be a little interesting coming back, depending on where I am, but I'm gonna try to go all the way up this river. I know it was closer, further up in front of the, you know, the forestry road, but anyway, let's get through this. So, not gonna be filming going through this. We'll touch base when we get to the creek. Okay, that was a bad idea. I thought I found a good clearing and made it through the bog, and I was just trekking down through the rhodos. I mean, it was thick, but, and then it just got rhodos, I don't know, mountain laurel. There was just no way. So I turned around, and I can see the road up here, and I got to try to find that small little clearing to try to get up to the road, and then I think I'm gonna hop in the Jeep because I don't know how far I need to walk to where I can get an entry back into the creek. But yeah, it is nasty. Bog wasn't too bad. I mean, some places, like you can see, not too bad. But anyway, let's get to the creek. This is wearing me out. All right, check back in at the creek. It's poor there. God. Second cast. You know, just be patient. God, I'm gonna disturb the water. All right, I'm gonna be patient this time. I was able to get it off. Just took my time, reached over there, and able to get it out of the limb. So, all right, without disturbing the water too. Starting off with a yellow Sally and a hare's ear with no bead head. A lot of bug activity. Since I don't know this water, I got my 7'6" out here. Glad I brought it. It's a lot of overhang. There we go. All right. So, get him to the net. What do we got here? What do we have? A little wild rainbow. All right. Well, come on, buddy. There we go. Little wild rainbow. He's a little fella. Let's get him in the water. Got on the Frenchie, pink Frenchie. I lost the Pertagon earlier, got hung up. All right, the skunk is off. Figured there had to be some fish in that run there. That's a really nice run. All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's late. I spent too much time figuring out how to get to the creek today, and didn't get back here to the campsite till 8 o'clock. So I gathered firewood earlier, but you know, I didn't have it all cut up. Wasn't really even completely set up here. I really wanted to get on the water, so and with it being so late, I'm not gonna cook some fancy food tonight. So, but I'll tell you what I have. What I was gonna cook. I had some boneless chicken thighs, which has been sitting in olive oil, salt, and pepper for the last 24 hours. With some fresh rosemary in it. So I was going to put that in the black iron skillet and cook it over the fire here. Throw some potatoes in there. You know, I'll boil the potatoes first, put those in there on the side, and let them cook down in all that good seasoning and stuff. But I tell you, I'm beat. So I'm gonna have a peak refuel meal tonight. So I brought a few of those to eat on the water tomorrow, and but yeah, I'm just gonna eat one of those tonight, and I'll do that meal tomorrow night. And get up early, you know, after, you know, good 6 hours on the water. I'm not gonna be staying out there on the water till 8 o'clock tomorrow, I'm sure. So yeah, it's starting to get a little cool, but get a good fire going here. I mean, it's such a great campsite here. You know, it's off the, it's, you know, it's a good bit off the forestry road. You figure they would have had you can tell it's been used quite a bit, but you figure there wouldn't have been much firewood here, but it was easy to pick up firewood. Very easy. But I eventually, found some good spots. I kept driving further up, and I found some much better spots where the creek was right along the road there. So I was able to get in a few times and so forth. So yeah, I landed that one wild rainbow. Had a couple of good hits just before that. Could have been the same fish. So that was good. Get the skunk off, and yeah, the water really pretty. And I went down further, got in for a short bit, and had a long distance release on what it looked like was a brookie. I mean, the further I got up, the smaller the river got, and then it had a lot of pot bunker, pools and stuff that kept just dropping, as you can tell the further you go up, it's just gonna keep going up and up and up. So, but yeah, I hit a little brookie there. I mean, I only fished, that was probably 15 minutes, but I just kept driving up just to explore and stuff, so I know what to do tomorrow. But I definitely got my plan for tomorrow, so that's good. There's a spot where I can get in, and I drove from one area to where I said, hey, I think I can get in here, fish up, and then I drove up further to where there's a trail, and it's like a half a mile. And a half a mile where I'm gonna fish, it's gonna take, probably 3 to 4 hours, so that'll probably do half the day and take a lunch break, and then figure it out from there. There's a couple little feeder creeks and stuff like that I think I'll come across one while I'm fishing that section. So, but anyway, this thing's getting hot fast. So I'm using some of these old canisters. We go back to my last trip of 24 and my first trip of 25. My canisters were freezing up, and so I brought another one for another trip, and I couldn't tell how much was left in it. Well, I'm finishing them off out here. Instead of using my little, I've got a little Coleman 2-burner propane stove that I use when I'm dispersed camping. But I figured I'd bring these canisters out and finish them off. There's not that much left in it, but hey, it started out, strong flame and so forth, but it got weak, so there's not that much left in it. But hey, I got the water boiled, so that was perfect. And I'll probably have enough to actually boil some water for some coffee in the morning. Now I got a drip pot, so I'm not doing instant coffee, but I'll probably try to finish them off instead of using my little propane stove. And it takes a little longer, but you might as well not waste them. Do the chicken Alfredo pasta. All right. Let that sit. Cut up some bigger firewood, and that way this thing will burn slow. Right now I'm just putting all the small stuff on it, but I got a couple of good hard trees. Let me turn this off. Those trees that I have talked about previously, I picked up one that's a little big. I know I sawed it in half a while ago just so it's not so long here at the campsite, but it took quite a while. I got some smaller ones too, and so I've been burning that. But that good hardwood, whatever it is, I don't know if it's a beech wood. You could be beech maybe. I don't know, but But yeah, there's a lot of it around here, just real close. So, but yeah, I'll gather some up tomorrow morning, so I have it for later. Getting ready to hit the water. So yeah, I got up, I guess a little after 7 this morning. It's a little frigid when I got up, but man, it's warmed up really quickly. Little clouds, so I put the raincoat over there on the tent just in case, since I'll be gone, 6-8 hours from the campsite today. So, yeah, I've eaten breakfast, drank some coffee, just packed everything up to drive the Jeep out to where I'm gonna step into the creek today. So, right at the end of the day, I got a little, mess here. So I'm gonna clean that up real quick. I'm actually just gonna cut it off and then go out to the water without anything on it. So I can, I'll figure that out once I get there, what I'm gonna put on it. So, but anyway, it was a beautiful night, man. I woke up in the middle of the night and man, the moon finally came up over the mountains and it was just lighting up the sky. I really enjoyed, not having the rain fly on, just being able to look up in the middle of the night. So, yeah, maybe I'll take a snapshot of that because it's spectacular. It really is. So, but anyway, next time we chat, I'm gonna be on the water. All right. Finally hooked into a good one here. Come on, buddy. Really nice fish. Really, really nice. Get him over here. Got him on the Frenchie. Looks like it's a nice wild brown. He hadn't stopped. Yeah. Yep, it's a nice wild brown. Oh! Well, that's a good fight. Yeah, that was a beauty, man. Whew. I didn't land him, but yeah, he was nice. I was fighting him for a good while before I even started the camera. And but man, he just would not come out of the current. I hooked him under that rock down there, and so yeah. Well, that was good. I didn't land him, but hey, that was a good release of him. Didn't push him too hard, but man, that was good. It's been a while since I had a nice, good fish like that. That wild brown was stout. Yeah, so I only had 2 other hits. I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm not going to turn the camera on until I get to a spot to where I can really start fishing. I actually got into one place, beautiful water, and started going down. It's further up, and man, it got to a point to where the rhodos were hanging over, and it was just too deep. It was going to go up to my waist, and rhodos were hanging over it. I couldn't cross. So then I got in the woods and just crawled on my hands and knees and still couldn't get into every time I tried to get in, it was just way too deep. So I came on back, hiked back down the forestry road and found a place where I can get in, and just been fishing up through here. And, hopefully, I can keep going for a long way. But yeah, that was good. I threw right into here and, just kept hitting every little seam, and he bit. There's a rock right there, right underneath it. And for a good while, he was staying under it, and I could not get him to come out. So finally he came out, and eventually turned the camera on, and it was a good fight. So, yeah. Let's see if we can do that again. This is looking much better here. A lot of that down there was pretty low and not the best spots to fish with a dry dropper, but I'm going to stay with this dry dropper with the Frenchie on the bottom and see how that goes. It's a really good run here. Oh, look at that big, there we go. There was two of them. A big one went first and then the little one got in the way. You figured that had to be some fish in there. Oh, that was cool. There we go. I think that was the bigger one. He's not huge. Come on. I think that's another brown. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, that's a bow. There we go. Decent sized little bow. Yeah. Decent sized little bow. Nice pink stripe. Get him in the water. All right, picking up a little bit. Go! Yeah, this is a hot spot. There he is. Oh, man. Boy, you nailed that one. May have a little bit of dubbing hanging off. There he goes. There he goes. That was sweet. There we go. Came up and hit the chubby. Very nice. A little bit bigger. Oh, there he goes. I'm liking the fish coming up. Missed a couple on the rise on the top, but yeah, he came up. This is a purple chubby, by the way. Kind of. Oh, there he goes again. There's another one. Oh, golly! Holy shit! Oh, this is gonna be hard to land here. Looks like another brown. Oh, yeah. He just threw that thing out. Too much current. I thought I had him once he got to that slower water there, but man. Oh, that was sweet. Oh, man. Good grief. At first, it looked like he was coming at the chubby, but he just saw that Frenchie flying in the water and just inhaled it because pretty strong current, so it doesn't have a chance to get really down deep. But yeah, good fun. It's okay not landing that. You don't have to land it. It's just as, I see that as a good release. I'm gonna be honest, I was getting a little discouraged when I first got out on the water, because the spot I went in, you know, I just could not navigate. I mean, it was just brutal. And I had that problem yesterday. There we go. I had that problem yesterday. You know, every spot I took, I was killing myself. You know, I want to get to the hard places. And I figured, well, if I get in right on the forestry road, that, of course, that's where everybody else is fished. But, man. That's why I got into this area. I figured I'd just go all day. If I can't get up out on the road, then I'll just have to come all the way back down the creek. But hit that spot earlier, and man, I just could not get by. Without getting wet, probably. I don't mind getting wet, but it's the electronics and phone and firearm and everything else. There we go. With a little bow. Little guy. And the Frenchie again. Well, after a slow start to the day on the water, it ended up being a good day. So, yeah, landed a handful of fish. I guess 2 handfuls of fish. So that was good. But yeah, when you first come someplace, you gotta scope out the water, and yeah, there's a forestry road that runs along it. But you don't want to jump in where everybody else jumps in, right? So I would pick spots that I was like, oh, this looks good. Let me just hike through here. Where then you get to the thick rhododendron, and all along this, I guess this is a river. I mean, the rhododendron is so thick. God, it's thick. I mean, this morning I make my way in there. I was like, okay, this is good. I start fishing. I probably fished maybe 100 yards, and then the water was really deep. Everything was hanging over it, and yeah, I was like, okay, let me just get up on the bank, crawl through the rhododendrons. It just got so thick. I even crawling on my knees. It's like, this is no good. So got out of there, got in the Jeep, drove on back. But yeah, you guys saw landed a number of fish, and so yeah, ended up being a good day. So got a fire going here right now. So yeah, just been chilling back here about an hour and a half, I guess, and so forth. So, but the day was good, but I had a mishap. So after I fished, oh man, 4 or 5 hours, I fished up all the way to a spot that I knew I could get out, and so got out. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go eat some lunch and go find another spot, eat some lunch at that spot, and then fish, another 3 or 4 hours. Well, when I stopped fishing, before I got into the Jeep, I put my fly rod on top of the Jeep. Something I've always done, so it doesn't move and go in and the door slams on it, things like that. So I always would put it on the top, hang it over the front, so if I get in the Jeep, I'm like, oh, my fly rod's up there, because I could see it out in the front. Well, I had my 7'6" weight. I didn't slide it all the way up. I took off, got to my next spot, and I realized, oh no, I left my fly rod. So I was just sick. But anyway, I drove back, looking all along the way, but I was like, it would have fallen off immediately. Well, it wasn't there. I walked up, walked back, got in the Jeep, drove back to that spot, walked up. I looked everywhere and I said, all right, it's gone. Somebody picked it up. So every now and then I'd see somebody along the forestry road. I told them, and what do you know? I come back to some folks that are dispersed camping, and I said, hey, I could use a favor. If you know anybody, if somebody comes by and says they found a fly rod, let me know. And they go, oh, I got it. I picked it up. It's right there. I was like, oh my gosh. And he said, oh, it was just right there. So it stayed on top of my Jeep for the longest time. But yeah, the family said, yeah, we saw it. Somebody ran over it. So the reel nothing's wrong with the reel, but it was broken in 2 places. And so yeah, the rod is done. So, but anyway, yeah, that was just a dumb thing. I cannot believe I forgot that up there, but at least I got the reel back. You know, it's an Orvis bat and kill, but the rod's, you know, done. You can't fix it. You know, two of the sections are broken. So, but anyway, at least I didn't get hurt, or you know, nothing like that happened. But yeah, I'm out of a short rod. So, but yeah, that's the way it goes. If that's the worst thing that ever happens to me while I'm out here, you know, doing this, that's you know, that's okay. So, but anyway, I did end up fishing a couple more hours after that. I didn't land anything. I was really hungry by then. By the time, I mean, I walked up and down the forestry road. I mean, that was a good hour and a half. You know, just you know, and it also allowed me, you know, I'd see people, I'd tell them, and so forth. But yeah, by the time I did that, it was, I think when I got back on the water, it was like 4 o'clock, and yeah, I was starving. You know, I ate that meal out there, and yeah, fished a couple more hours, and yeah, you saw that, didn't catch anything. So, but anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cook one of those meals tonight. It's 7:15, so I ate late, but you know, I'm gonna start getting hungry here soon. So, but anyway, all right. So dinner tonight is boneless chicken thighs. Been sitting for 2 days with salt and pepper, olive oil. Got some potatoes I put in here. I boiled them first a little bit with some salt and pepper. Got some fresh rosemary from the house, some tomatoes. It's a funny story. The last time I cooked this, I wasn't dispersed camping. I was actually at a very small campground. I had a nuisance bear, and he wouldn't leave. Ran him off once, came back again, and he was too close. So I ended up sleeping in the Jeep. If you hadn't seen that, that was my fall of 2023 trip. That was an amazing trip. I was chasing some native brookies, had great success, and on some new waters. Been back to that spot like 3 times now. But anyway, this is good stuff here. I just let's just hope the bears don't join me for supper. So, because it kind of splatters a little bit. I'll probably throw these rocks in on the coals later and stuff. So anyway, it's good food. You might as well eat some good food out here. But I think it's almost done. So I think I'm gonna make me a grapefruit and vodka with a little splash of lime in it to drink with this. I think it's probably done. Man, that is so good. Oh my gosh. Wow. So much flavor. So whether you're out camping or whether you're at home, boneless chicken thighs, rosemary, heavy salt and pepper, olive oil. I threw some tomatoes in, and then I threw some potatoes in that were already boiled with a lot of salt and pepper. So let them soak up all that juice in there with a couple of sprigs of fresh rosemary in there. Oh, it's amazing. Cheers. Ruby red grapefruit juice, vodka, and a lime wedge. So refreshing. The sweetness of the ruby red grapefruit. Hey, good morning. The campsite is all packed up and I am doing some exploring. Since I am so far out in western North Carolina, about 5.5 hours from my house, I might as well take advantage of being out here. So today I'm driving about an hour and a half north, and I'm on one of the scenic byways. This has been an amazing drive, and I'm climbing and climbing and climbing now. So, yeah, with it being a Saturday here, I figured I'd take advantage. I'm going to go over to some other forestry roads and where there's some creeks in the area and rivers and so forth. So I'm going to check all that out. I think there's some dispersed camping along the forestry road, so I'm going to scope it out for a trip later this, let's call it early summer, probably late spring. And so I've spent so much time in a lot of the other areas that I've been camping and fishing over in the Pisgah National Forest and a few times in the Great Smoky. So I really want to take some time here and scope out, further western North Carolina, plan a little better so I can take, good 3 days off and so forth. But yes, there's just so much water and so many beautiful places to explore. So just take advantage of being out here and, see what I find today. So we'll just touch base later on, or hey, if I see something cool along the way. I've never been on this road, so really cool to be just out exploring again. All right, I made it to the destination. Been hiking in for a few minutes. Absolutely gorgeous. The good weather's continued, but yeah, man, it was a lot further than I thought driving back in here and so forth. But I'm here, I'm hiking, probably gonna hike about 3 miles. I think that's gonna be it. I'd like to get home tonight somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. So all I got's a little day pack on, so I can fly. Didn't bring the fishing rod. Of course, that was a little bit of a challenge to not bring it, but hey, save the fishing experience for later in the year, because I will be back here. There's no doubt I'm coming here later in the year. So what I do wish I had is a little Nantahala rod. So I will be getting one of those. Talked to my buddy a couple of weeks ago at the golf course, and so he and I are going to get together again and talk about Nantahala rods. And that'd be perfect to just bring in here, sit that thing out and start fishing. But anyway, we'll touch base along the way as I go through here, and let y'all know what I find for the future. This wasn't to the campsite, but take a look at this water, see if you see any brookies in there. It's a good place to spot some brookies. I think there might be some swimming right there. Yep. That's about as fishy as you can get right there. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, I'm gonna have to go back up the trail. I think there's a way to get to that spot. Check that campsite out. That's beautiful water, huh? I mean, man, look at that. That run is just, God. I mean, this is the first time other than crossing. But yeah, that's beautiful stuff right there. Amazing. So let's go show you the other campsites. All right, I'm gonna walk back up the trail, figure out how to get back down to that spot. I mean, you could certainly put more than just a group of campers here, but you know, you like to have your own space. That's for sure. I'm already thinking about how I can go back down here. Lighten up my load. It's been going through my mind. I may go with the vest and leave the small backpack. Then the vest can serve two purposes. When I'm out on the water, it's got the big pack in the back, you know, where you could put some stuff. And then I got plenty of pockets in it. All right, this might be it. This actually might be the preferred site because you're not in the traffic where everybody's coming through is gonna say, hey, how you doing? What are you up to? Oh yeah, I like this better. I mean, all right, I finished my exploring. Turn around and coming back. This is definitely on my to-do list for sure. Found some backcountry campsites. Let's see, what did I find? 2. You could put somebody else at one of them. So if you come out here and you don't want to go any further, but I went about 3.5 miles and decided to come back. So the trail keeps going and you can hear the creek in the background. But yeah, this is definitely on the to-do list. This is almost 4,000 feet. And this should be all brook, wild native brook trout. It's a long way back, so I don't think it gets a lot of pressure. At least that's my gut feeling. I don't see too much fishing on the internet about this area, so that's a good thing. That those of you out there that are fishing it aren't naming it. I certainly will not name it either. So. You know, like I say, you gotta do the exploring, do some recon missions like I'm doing today. I know what to expect, and yeah, this would probably be a cool place. It's pretty extreme comment here, but to spend a weekend, there's that much to explore. Because when you're coming back here this far, sometimes you might want to do it hard, fish it hard, relax for a day, do nothing. Then fish some more, then come on back. So, but anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here, and I'll touch base one more time when I get back up close to the vehicle. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and close this trip out. I'm still on the trail after exploring, but it's time to call it a trip. So hey, if you're still with me, thanks for joining me on this trip. I tell you, I learned a lot on this trip, exploring that creek. I was a little impatient trying to get out to that creek so fast, do some fishing and so forth. Next time, I'm gonna drive up and down the forestry road, investigate a little bit further, then get into the creek in an easy spot. But anyway, I learned some stuff, especially when I was walking down that forestry road trying to find my fly rod. I was also looking at some areas where might be a little easier to get into the creek and fish it, because man, it's amazing water. I mean, I caught all the fish in the easy place where everybody just parks their vehicle and goes in. So I can imagine just the miles and miles of areas where you can't park your vehicle and just hop in the creek. So I'm gonna figure that out next time. But I really enjoyed fishing that water. I never really fished any dries, just a little while late in the evening yesterday, and a little bit more shallower water. But anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody subscribing, giving me some comments and some tips along the way. Nothing wrong with a few tips along the way. We're all still learning. But hey, if this is the first time you're checking in, hey, please subscribe so you can see more of this in the future. And come along with me on my next adventure. This is trip number 4. Gonna get at least 12 this year. It's April, so the goal is to get 1 a month. So again, if you're just subscribing, if you've not subscribed, that is, go ahead and subscribe, and then you can see me meet that milestone of 12 trips. I've never made 12 trips in a year. Last year was my best year. I think I got 7 in of doing this backcountry camping, fly fishing, and so forth. So anyway, hey, thanks for joining me, and until the next adventure, take care.